So this is my first ever video clip of doing a watercolour. I don't know what sort of paper I've got, possibly Arches. Anyway, it's a 300 GSM, fairly rough surface. And the brushes I normally use, most of all, for this wet in wet style, are Hakey brushes. So soft goat hair, they move nicely over the paper. I'm not going to worry too much about what I'm painting. I'm just going to enjoy the watercolour. So it's pretty wet in wet. Oops, I've got a mark on the paper there. Doesn't matter. It'll be what it will be. Some ultramarine and a little bit of light red to tone it down. It'll probably be a stormy sort of a painting. Okay, that's a little bit too wet, that surface, but that's okay. That'll give me something. As I said, I don't know what I'm painting. It doesn't really matter what it is. I'll put a bit of darker in here, a bit of dark in there. Catch that edge down there. At this stage I don't want any dry brush, so I'll pick that up. Got a bit of light coming in from here. Don't like that patch there, so I'll just use this brush that I've had water on, squeeze the excess water out, and then I'm just going to use it like I would a blender with pastel. I like the little bit of pink over there, so I'll leave that. Maybe a little bit more pink back in it. Even though that reads as a fairly warm red, it's actually a fairly cool red, it's actually a warm red. May Marie Permanent Red Light. Okay, that was not a very good idea there to do that, but anyway, she'll be what she'll be. A little bit of more ultramarine in it, maybe. And I don't want to keep going all the way down there because I reckon I'll do some dry brush. This now looks a bit like a hill, so I can come back into that as it dries. I'm getting a little bit more cautious than what I would be because it's on video. So dry brush across here, just seeing what happens. So you'll notice that I use my brushes quite gently on the paper. I don't push them down. So you're just tickling the surface for a lot of this. It's not an illustration type work. And then I might decide to add some water to some of that and let it flow down. If I don't like the dry brush, I can add something else. Blend it together, let it move. I'm just responding to whatever's on the surface. I'm not making deliberate decisions about what I'm doing. I'm trying to work to what's happening there. Okay, it's a little bit early to go back into that. If I do, I'm going to get a bloom up. I've got a spot of ultramarine on there that I don't like. I'll see if I can get that off with the rigger brush. Nah. Okay, so it's actually dissolved the paint. Right, well, I'm going to have to make that into something then, aren't I? And that's sometimes how I decide what I'm going to do. If it stuffs up, I make it into something else. Anyway, that's all right. It's bleeding up a bit, but that could be trees. So that's okay too. Yep, nice little trees there. Still got that pencil mark that I didn't like. And there's a line down the paper. It was an old piece of paper, so that's been scratched. I don't know if you can see there. I'll lift it up and show you. Okay, so you can see there's a pencil mark that was on the paper or something before I started, and I don't know if you can see there's also a white line down the side there. Oh, it's not going to zoom again. I tried it beforehand and it did zoom. There's a white line coming down there, which was not my intention. It's just a mark on the paper. And another one up here. And in doing that, I got a drop of water up the top there. on my brush, so I've got a little watermark up there. This is not working very well. Try again. Okay, so that's a quick little watercolour, not of any particular scene, but 3 colours: Payne's Grey, a permanent red light by May Marie, which is like a cad red light, but it's transparent, whereas cadmium red is opaque, and ultramarine blue deep. Hope you enjoyed it, and it was pretty bad, I know, but I'll get better.